Hello everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, here to bring you a technique. It's called simple watercolor backgrounds, what I called it. It is just a very simple technique, as you've probably seen it 100 million times or more, but I'm going to revisit it tonight and let you see what that looks like. I'm making room on my table because I just noticed I didn't even clean it up from this morning, but that's okay. That's okay. We can still keep going. What I would like to do, I'm going to pull this up on my iPad real quick. There we go, just so I can see. Make sure that when I flip my camera, I can see it and make sure that you guys are in focus with that. But anyway, I don't have much to say with Stampin' Up as far as deals and stuff to go. They do have new clearance rack items in the online stores, so you can go. I'd love you to visit my online store at ritaholmes.stampinup.net and look at the clearance stuff and see if that's anything that you need, and I'd be happy if you would be able to give me an order, especially this month when things are going slow. So anyway, I would like to say that or tell you that as of November 2nd, I probably will be having a knee replacement. And so I might not have a video on for a little while. I don't know. It just depends on how things go and how I can do steps, because I do have to come down steps to get to my craft room. So we're going to see how all that goes. But if you don't see me for a while, it's not because I'm gone. It's because I have to recuperate and recover from total knee replacement. So with that being said, I'm going to turn my camera around and show you what I've got that we're going to make tonight. And I promise it won't take very long to do it. It'll probably be a short video for you, but that's okay. Short videos can be nice. So everybody close your eyes as you go up looking at the ceiling and doing all that fun stuff while I turn my camera. Okay, and I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Get the cord out of the way, because for some reason the cord was in the way. There is my information. I hope you can see it. Bring that down just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, this is the card we're going to be making. I'll tell you about that in just a second. I would like for you, if you've never been to my channel, to hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up when you can. Share the video if you don't mind, so that more people will know that I am doing videos and stuff like that. My camera seems to be leaning. That's best I can do. Okay. I'm calling this, also here's my host code for the rest of this month, which isn't very long. It's going to be over before we know it. And then we're going to be into November. Can you believe that? Almost the end of the year. It's coming quick. But I'm going to show you, here's a card. This is the card we're going to be doing tonight, just because I love these leaves and that. So we're going to be doing a card with that. And actually, here are the 3 designs. I used the same size piece of paper that I watercolored on all 3 cards. But what looks different is how I cut them. And so I will tell you, this is a 3 by 3¼ inch piece of very vanilla cardstock that I colored. And I'm going to show you how I did that. This is the same thing. On this one, though, after I colored it, let it dry, stamped it, I cut it in 1/2 inch pieces and put it back together. This one, colored it, let it dry. Well, colored it, stamped it, let it dry, and then I cut it in 1 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1/2 inch pieces, and just glued those on. So you can actually cut this any way you want to. You can leave it whole, you can cut them up, you can cut it in different ways. These 2 cards here were made as the very vanilla is the card on a base that's cut 5.5 by 4 1/4. And these are cut 4 by 10.5 and folded at 5 1/4. So that your card's just on the front. Just gives it a little different look. So we're going to be doing that and also be making this card right here. So in order to do that, we're going to need a scrap piece of paper that doesn't look so bad. We'll use this one. We'll use my 3 by 3 1/4 piece of cardstock. I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm going to open all of my stamp pads. I am using Cajun Craze, Soft Succulent, Pumpkin Pie, can you see these? I know they're up out of the camera a little ways, but... And then we're going to have Crushed Curry and Balmy Blue. And these are the colors I'm going to be using to stamp with, okay? So I'm going to start out with my Balmy Blue. I'm going to be using my blending brushes. So I'm going to get some ink on it. Ink it up and just kind of dab it a minute. And then start off of the paper and move on. And what I want to do is I'm going to start and have it darker at the top and then blend it out. So. And I'm not worried about getting that a solid color because I want it to look like it's on watercolor paper. So, and there it is. I hope you can see how it's kind of spotty looking up there like watercolor paper does. Can you see that kind of spotty look? I'm going to move it around so different angles so you can see that. Okay, the next color I'm going to bring in is I'm going to bring in the Crushed Curry. And I want my Crushed Curry to be really, really dark. So we're going to bring that. And I just overlap onto my blue. And I'm going to make this really, I want this one really dark. And you know, you'll notice on some of my cards that the colors are lighter and darker than others. And this one is really dark. And it's just with what you want to do with them. These are pretty fall colors. That's why I use them. And I'm just into fall right now. I'm going to go into my Soft Succulent and do my bottom right here. And now I'm going to bring in some Pumpkin Pie. And I'm going to wipe this brush out because I use it for Crushed Curry too. I don't want to have so much Crushed Curry in it right now because I want to do my Pumpkin Pie. And I'm just going to fill in this area I left light right here. I like to flip my paper because I like to work one way. So, and I'm going to put some of it up here. Okay. I'm going to bring in my Balmy Blue brush again just because I got a little bit more than what I wanted up there. So I'm going to darken that a little bit as far as that Pumpkin Pie. Now I'm going to take the Crushed Curry. And this is something you probably haven't seen with the blending brushes, but I like to do it. And that is tap them across the paper. Just tap that color on there. And I'm going to do that down here at the bottom. Now you don't want to tap so hard that you get your bristles all out of whack. You just want to tap it so, and I'm tapping off a little bit so that I don't try to get big round ring marks. And you can blend it in if you need to. And tap some more. I'm making this, and I'm going to bring my soft succulent back in. I'm not inking it. I'm just going to blend that in down here with soft succulent. And if you don't like your color, you can bring your, overlap your colors and bring it in. But I think that looks pretty good. I like that. So I'm done with these colors. I'm going to take and move them out of the way. It's a lot of colors, I know, but it makes a pretty piece of background paper. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in paper towel, and I'm going to just lay my project on my paper towel like this. I'm going to take a water spritzer brush, and it's just got plain water in it, and Stampin' Up! Does sell these brushes if you need them. And I'm going to squirt that, but I'm not going to squirt it real heavy. I'm just going to give a couple squirts. And I'm going to watch that and see if I want to put any more water on that. But I want it to have, kind of breaks up that and gives it a watercolor effect. And then I'm going to blot it to get the excess water off of it. So that way it dries faster. So and I just kind of rub that, kind of dry it. And that is our paper. And then it has like a watercolor effect. And you did not use watercolor paper because a lot of people don't have watercolor paper and don't want to buy it just to use a few sheets to try things. So you can do this on your cardstock. You'll notice it curls. You can dry this with a heat gun. Be careful not to scorch it. Or you can leave it laid to dry. And then, come back and use it within an hour. But when I do that, I take something flat and lay on top of it like that. And it kind of helps flatten it out. So that's what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take that one. I'm going to lay it flat for a minute. In fact, I'll put a couple of them on there just to give it some weight. Move it out of the way. And we can move this for a minute. We're not going to need it. So I have a piece that I did this morning. And if you notice, it looks completely different because it's got a lot of water through here and stuff. But we are going to use it. It's going to be fine. I'm going to take, because it is, when it dried, it didn't dry completely flat. I didn't lay nothing on top of it. So I am going to use snail adhesive on it because that will hold it tighter around the edges. So I'm trying to make sure that I get it around those edges. I'm going to put some in the middle just because I want it to lay pretty flat. This is our gold distressed paper that you can get. It's really, really pretty. You get 2 sheets, and I don't know, it's between $10 and $15. It's kind of, I think that's what it is. Anyway, you only get 2 sheets, and it's kind of expensive, but if you use it sparingly, it works okay. I am going to lay this on my card. Okay, now I'm going to bring my card base in, which is 4 by 10.5, and I'm going to fold it in half. And I've lost, there it is. Let's give that a nice crease. We're going to bring in our 5.5 by 4 1/4 piece of Cajun Craze. And I'm going to use glue for this part. And I left this glue open since this morning. I'm surprised it's coming out. But it is. So we're going to use that and we're going to put it on here. Making sure we get that down pretty flat. I'm going to take and put glue all over this piece. Because I want it to lay really flat. And I'm going to put it up here towards the top right hand corner. I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to rub really good since I don't have my little guide that I use with my Stamparatus. We're just going to rub that. Make sure we get that on there really good and flat. There we go. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take, and I cut out some leaves and I cut them out of the Aspen Dies, which has a beautiful leaf. It has a bird. It goes with a stamp set, and I meant to look it up and I forgot. But it has the tree cutouts and stuff. It's really just a really, really pretty die set. And these are the leaves that come out of it. So I'm going to put some glue. First of all, before I put my glue on, because I don't need them, I'm going to cut the stems off of these too, right here. Because I don't need them sticking out. So let's cut those off. And then we'll put some glue on here. We're going to add that here. And I think I'm going to add this one like right here. I wonder how I'd look down and put the bow in the middle. No, I don't think I like that. So let's put this one right here. Like so. I didn't glue the tops of them down because that kind of does make them look a little popped up. I didn't want to pop it up because I'm putting ribbon on it. I'm going to leave this leaf whole. I'm going to add some glue to it. Open this up and we're going to just lay that in here and glue it to the inside. So we have a leaf on the inside and we have our leaves on the outside. Next thing we are going to do, we are going to bring in our scrap piece of paper, if I can find what I did with it. I laid it over here. We're going to bring this in and I'm going to cut my ribbon about 12 inches. Actually, I don't even have to cut it 12. I can probably cut it about 10 inches to make my bow. And what I'm going to do, if you see the ribbon is Cajun Craze on here, we're going to color this ribbon. It is the satin edged ribbon. It's the gold satin edged ribbon. Isn't that pretty? And you can color it. And we're going to use the Stampin' Blends Dark Cajun Craze. And we're just going to take the tip and color the ribbon. And you can color a lot of our ribbons this way with your Stampin' Blends markers. They color really well. It dries really fast because of the alcohol in the marker. And if you think you need to come back in and color anything to make it a little darker, you can. I usually come back over the middle section because it's so light. And then let's move the scrap paper. And there we have a piece of Cajun Craze ribbon. It's really cool. Bring back in the card we're doing. And I'm just going to take and tie me a bow with my ribbon. As soon as I get a hold of both edges and pull. So there's my bow. Pull that tight. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 glue dots on the back of my ribbon. I like to use 2. I use 1 to each side of the knot, covering the knot, but 1 to one side and 1 to the other side to kind of hold the bow in place. And we're going to stick that right here. And now I'm going to trim my ribbon up. So there's that on our card. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some early espresso ink. And I'm going to stamp the happy birthday in early espresso. And I think I'm going to put it straight this time. Hope it's straight. It looks good. And to add a little bling to it, I'm bringing in the champagne gemstones because they go very well with the gold. So I'm just going to add a couple of these. And there we go. That is how easy this card is. It is so easy and fun. You could cut you a bunch of paper and leave it and let it, you know, color it, leave it, and then you're going to have them to cut strips out of or do whatever. Let's bring the other strip cards in. Let's lay these 2 cards next to each other. You can see how the color is just a little bit different in each one of those. And then we have this one. Let's see if we can keep all these in focus here. Kind of hard. Move my camera up a little bit. And that way it'll give more room. And now the piece of paper that we did is right here. It's still just a little damp, but you can see that it lays flat. So you can actually keep it under something to let it stay flat, or you can bring it up and not. I'm going to put it back under some stamp pads and let it sit. So this is my technique. Now, if you belong to my Facebook group, Stamp Crazy VIP, or you would like to join it, you can jump over there and you can get under the file section. You can get any of the PDFs for the things that I make. And this is the one for this card we made, which is here. Gives you all the supplies and the directions, and I put the other 2 on there so that you can have a visual of something else that you can do with it. Fun cards, easy cards, great masculine birthday cards. I think they look, especially these 2, look really masculine. These I'll probably send to ladies for fall birthdays. But anyway, that's what I wanted to show you tonight. And because it is nighttime while I'm doing this, you know, you'll be watching it at your leisure, so that's a good thing. And I hope you enjoy my video. I hope you can subscribe to my channel. And please share with it if you could. That helps me grow my audience, which is something that's good to do on YouTube, so that maybe I can end up going live sometime instead of doing them all pre-recorded. So that is it for me. Until next time, you all have a great day. Bye.